Cryptillians and crypto crackheads, it's Tim. It's Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, and you're about to get Timified. If you're new to the channel, because maybe you want to learn how to set up charts, I will use this as a library video to be referred to for the people coming to us from the future. So welcome futuristic people and welcome people in the present. Hopefully no one here from the past. I don't want Cryptillians or crypto crackheads here from the past. Also, if you're new to the channel, if you hit the subscribe and the bell button, what's going to happen is this. You get the honor of choosing your crypto pronoun of Cryptillian or crypto crackhead. So if you make that choice, go ahead and let me know what you chose down in the description section after you hit subscribe, and we'll go from there. So I really do have the goal, okay, to keep this under 10 minutes. So record setting for the Joe Rogan of crypto, or whatever the heck y'all are calling me. Because I became a YouTuber on accident, like seriously, because Facebook did not let files over 25 megabytes get uploaded, and I made a video for my crypto group. So, and I already had a YouTube channel from my college days when I recorded, covers and stuff. All right, so here we go. How to set up charts. So right hand side of the screen, if I've already tweeted this, so if you want access to that, my Twitter is the same as my YouTube name, but it has the number 2 at the end. I've seen a lot of confusion on that. Maybe I should change the formatting of the text down there. I think it looks pretty clear. Like the 2 is in a circle, but the 2 is a little smaller. But anyway, yeah, Cosas Verdes 2. It means green things in Spanish, together without the space. Cosas Verdes. I speak about half Spanish at home. I got married in Mexico, had a baby down there. The first of 4, and all the others were born here. But anyway, yeah, so it's Cosas Verdes 2, and let's get after it. So set up chart. So I have this in order, okay? All right, here we go. So top left-hand side of the screen, boom, dark, click it. Next, logarithmic. This used to be a lot more difficult. That's why in previous videos I was right-clicking, because it used to be down here. Or you can right-click for the color theme and go dark. See? Right-click. But anyway, you can just press this. And I think TradingView has started to put things, even like it used to be if you uncheck this, all right, it would go way off the screen. I don't know what they have going on now, but you need to be looking at things in logs. So make sure, I don't know what this auto means. Auto might be helpful because when you go across, let's say, MTV to Bitcoin, maybe it'll make it look nicer. Maybe that's what I've been missing at. No, it doesn't. Nope. So, yeah, just press the log. So that's number 2. EMAs. Actually, I'm going to put this on Cardano because I shorted Cardano at 26 cents. I actually shorted at 23.1 cents, so 0.231. I got stopped out pretty quickly, lost a few dollars, not very much. I had a tight stop because I stopped. I shorted with momentum down, but it wicked back up. Actually, about like 5 cents past it, so it's a good thing I had that, and then I didn't have to like get scared out or whatever. And then I saw the moment. I knew that was a false rally. I assume, and I still assume it's a false rally. And if you're a Cardano fan, don't worry. You're still going to learn how to do charts. Like you don't have to agree with everything I do, right? But anyway, I'm going to pull up the Cardano chart because I kind of want to watch it as I'm doing this here. If I can use my brain here. All right. Oh, yeah, we're closing candles under the 10 simple, which is the opaque one. So, yeah. All right, I think it's going to get squeezed down. But anyway, so charts, EMAs. So see where my mouse is here? See my mouse? So that eyeball makes them disappear, okay? And this gear, you can set them, but how do you find them, okay? How do you find them? Son of a bitch. Indicator, I'm gonna have to do this. So when it's a full screen, it says indicators. Did you see that? It says the word, I think, what sign was it? This one, FX. Okay, and it has FX and it spells out indicators. But here, okay, so anyway, you click indicators, and at the bottom of this on the right hand side, you can see this better in the tweet, but it's just a screenshot of these. Okay. Now some people have been confused on how to find like this one because they were putting spaces. There are no spaces. You have to literally put RSI, no space plus, no space EMA plus. So you can just put RSI plus, or just put Krown trading. Or you can just put Krown. It's the second one that pops up. All right. So when you do this, before you click it, hit the star. So it just automatically shows up when you start any search. Yeah. So, or you could put RSI plus. No, that didn't work. Is it case sensitive? Well, that's strange. Maybe there's a space. Maybe I was a liar. Well, maybe you can't just do that. That is. So put Krown. There you go. Krown trading, that one. So that's my main indicator. Okay. My second most used indicator is what is it? Why is my brain? I only slept 3 hours last night, folks, so I'm sorry. And sorry for my people. Oh yeah, that was the RSI one. Yeah, that's the RSI one. So the one I use the most, so that's the one I use second most, especially to judge whether price is going to go down and go up. Like I tried, that is what I use, and I'll show you here in a second. That's what I use to look at reversals, even on smaller time frames like the 2 hour, like weekly reversals, not macro reversals. I use accumulation distribution to figure out macro reversals going from bull to bear market, bear to bull market, or somewhere in between where the bulls and bears are fighting. You can pretty much see it on the monthly candle on Bitcoin with these. So you can star it. You won't really refer to it during a full swing bull market. There's no sense in using it unless we get close to December. In January, that's when you want to use it, okay? Anyway, so to find the next one, 5x, just put 5x. Nope. Put simple MA. There it is. So you can type simple MA to find that one. Okay. Stochastics is easy. Just put STO. It should be the first one. Right. The next one, you could put just a Q. So it's the one with markers. See that? With markers. That's the one I like to use. And you want to refer to that on the monthly candle specifically. So see where where I'm hovering with my mouse? Monthly. You don't want to use it on the weekly or daily. It's pointless. It's useless. That's not. It'll show up, but you can't. Just don't do it like that. And then so Bollinger Bands. The one with Fibonacci, just put Boll. I mean, hell, you could probably just put BOLL or BOL. Nope. Yep. So BOLL, do the one that says Fibonacci, or look for the one that says 𝐶𝑍𝑒. You could look for the creator's name too. That might actually be easier among all, it's because they all say Bollinger, but they all don't say 𝐶𝑍𝑒. It might be easier just to type in BOLL, look for 𝐶𝑍𝑒. Because in the people visiting us from the future, this number over here will be different depending on how many people like it. Like if I can like it right now, oh no, it probably counts the stars or something. But anyway, that's Bollinger Bands. I'm not going to show you how to use those today. If you watch any crypto trader, I think they rely on them too much. But that's just trading style. So maybe I don't rely on them enough. But my style doesn't need them a lot. I can tell pretty much everything from Stokes. RSI with control zones and the moving averages, besides one thing: bull to bear market, bear to bull. You need accumulation distribution for that typically, or other signals like ADX on the monthly scale. But I don't use all that. So just real quick, what are indicators? Okay, imagine price. The movement of Bitcoin price or whatever price. Imagine it's a book. All right. Even right now, you are only on page, let's say, 70 of the book. You don't know what the next page is going to look like. So what these indicators are doing is they're each a part. Sorry. They're each a part of the 70 pages you've read in the past. And they're each different snippets. And you have to look at various of them to get the whole 70 pages. So it's telling you a story, right? That's why you should, and to make it even though it's not complicated, because you don't need to use 2, you need to be using nothing below the 2. I suggest look at 2, 4, day, and week. If you want to look at the monthly on Bitcoin, that's probably cool, but monthly won't do anything for you on newer coins, or not even on really Ethereum. It's 2017, like. But yeah, 2 hour, 4. I mean, I would suggest 4 hour daily, weekly. And if you think you are getting a signal, but you want to make sure, secondary, use the 2 hour, but don't rely on it. Your go-to should be like the daily and the 4 in the week. Like you should constantly be going among those 3, and those also tell a different story. So you have to piece the story together of what you think will happen by going across different indicators, right? But even though they're telling a snippet of the story, they're all telling what? The same story. So, but that's important what I just said, because you don't need to use a bunch of them. You only need to use enough indicators to get the gist of the story. Right? If you use too many, you're just going to be wasting your time and confusing yourself. So if you end up doing this for a while, you don't have to use the ones I'm doing. A lot of people rely on Bollinger Bands instead of RSI. I love RSI though. So you have to, try to use these and figure out what works for you. Like, I'm not saying what works for me will work for you, but you might want to start there and then maybe flip, change out RSI for Bollinger Bands. Instead of using Stokes, use stochastic RSI. See if you like that better. It's just too finicky for me. But you don't want to be using like 10. You want to have a top 3 and like as primary, and then maybe 3 or 4 as secondary, and maybe 1 or 2 as tertiary. That's about it. So they're all telling the same story. You don't need to get the gist of it. You don't need all the damn indicators. All right. So, but then also remember, these time frames tell a different story too. These are part of the story, which compounds it like exponentially, right? Or not exponentially. That would be linear still times 3, but whatever. It makes it more complicated, right? Because you have each of these stories, snippets, and then each of those has a third, assuming you're only using maybe 4 time frames. So each of those are like, each of these has a quarter of a story within it. Quarter of this story is in the 2 hour. A quarter of this story is in the 4 hour. A quarter of this, in the daily and the weekly. So you have 4 snippets here, 4 snippets here, right? So that's why you don't want to use too many indicators, because these are kind of like indicators too. It multiplies it by 4. So if you're using 10 different indicators, that's 40. That's 40 different snippets of the story. No. Have a top 3, or maybe even a top 2. And then since you can have 3 indicators for free, always have your top secondary indicator. For me, that's stochastics. But my primaries are my moving averages and my RSI. If I could only choose one, it would be my moving averages. I'm a moving average trader and a candle trader. So really, I could probably trade even without anything. I could probably just look at the candles and look at the relative strength of the pushes, and I could probably trade profitably, especially in a bull market. Everybody can trade profitably. But in a bear market, I could still probably do it. I could probably swing it just by looking at price action with candles and wicks. They tell their own story. Like, there's a lot of stories here, so that's why you don't want to use too many. All right, anyway. Volume profile, it comes up real easily. Thank you. Yep. So you have to type in all of that. That's weird. So TradingView needs to change its algorithm here, its code, because that's stupid. That's really stupid. But anyway, they're not Google, so they don't have all the techies behind it making everything awesome. Yeah, so volume profile. And what this does is, okay, so this is a good example. So if you want to get rid of one, look, so you hover around it on the top left, or if it's not down here and it's like somewhere over here, that means it's a small sliver up here. You can get rid of it by clicking the X. So I can get rid of it clicking the X, get rid of it clicking the X to RSI. Sorry. And I get rid of this clicking the X. Now watch. So if you have full screen, this will say indicators, right? See that? But I'm doing this so you can see it. And so I can keep track and try to keep this at 10 minutes. Am I going to do that? Am I going to succeed? Damn it, I'm already at 15 minutes. God dang it. All right. All right, I need to hurry through this. I need to get back to work. Oh, yeah. So I wanted to show you volume profile. I forgot what I was doing. Like I said, I haven't slept. Volume. So volume profile, it's almost the exact same thing as what I do on my channel with taking the weekly candle bodies and drawing thick yellow lines of support and resistance. See how Cardano, like, there were reasons I shorted here, folks. Want to see why? You can't really tell on this chart, right? You want to see a different story? Look, this is its own story. The week. This is the big daddy time frame, yo. You're not looking at the weekly, you are doing yourself a disservice. Like, the week is the easiest way to tell. Like, if price is down here and you want to know where to sell because you're not past all-time highs, this is the no-brainer way to know how to take profits and buy a dip. Or do your 10 bags and 20 bags. Description of that in the section. Look. So this line is here because I was trying to do a best fit line of these wicks, and maybe it made sense on the daily too. I was just doing kind of these candle bodies, the opens kind of with these candle bodies, and I tried to mix it as close as I could with these wicks. So this technically doesn't really belong, all right? But I put that just as a guess. Maybe I did it off the 4 hour. The bottom one definitely made sense somewhere. Oh, yeah, I did it off the 4 hour. See, look at all these candles. Look, wick, 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 wick. Candle body, candle body, candle body, candle body, candle body, support, 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 resistance, 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 resistance. Yeah, there is a... so, yeah, it tells you a different story. You see that? There's a ton of resistance here. And if you go on the weekly, what does that align with? Okay, watch. Oh, okay, I see. It aligns with this wick. That's why I did it. So I was flipping across different storylines, like timelines of a universe, right? This timeline, that timeline. All of that dang 4 hour resistance aligned almost exactly to the dollar on Cardano, where the wick of this went. And close to that wick. That's why I put that. But anyway, that's what volume profile does. For some reason, I can't make volume profile show up very well on the weekly. I've messed with the... let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, so look. So if on the weekly, let me show you what it does. Try to line up candles as best as possible. So that right there. I'll show you why it's similar. Top of those candle bodies meet up with the bottom of these candle bodies. And it'll probably say something in the volume profile. Watch. Once I flip back to the daily. Or maybe the daily. Look. See how that line crossed? Where there's almost no trading volume? See that? Those are weak spots. Price typically likes to fill it in. It doesn't like to leave it like that. I didn't go this low on the weekly. What am I missing? But anyway, you get the point. So a lot of times when you line up candle bodies on the week, it's almost the same damn thing. So how I use the volume profile, and you can change a lot of settings. Like here, like I had to play around with it. All right. You can extend these bars, make them like more opaque, more white. And I don't know if I have my settings right, but anyway, look, I mean, even on the 4 hour, look how this yellow line from the weekly pierces where it's weak, right? But it especially did it on the daily really well. See, pierced it where it's weak, piercing it where it's weak. And obviously it's weak here because this is the top of price action. There's almost no trading volume. See, look, pierced it where it's weaker. But I use this to try to make sure I'm not missing a line. Because sometimes, if you've seen in my past videos, I'll go back when I'm trying to figure out, hey, where is this going to go? Or to where it went, and it didn't go to one of my lines. I think this only happened once, and like maybe 1 or 2 videos ago. And I said, oh, wait, I missed this line. And it was very glaringly obvious that I missed, for example, like something obvious like these 2 candle bodies. But you would be able to see that with the volume profile. If you don't have a line going through here or really close to it, that means you're missing something. So I just use this to make sure I set up my lines correctly. It's like a double, it's telling another story, right? It's the same damn story though, but it's a different snippet. But it's a very similar snippet. So these lines are like page 18 and volume profile, wherever the hell it went. Volume profile is page 19, essentially. That's how I use that. What else? Stochastics, Bollinger Bands, volume profile. Okay, you can only use 3 indicators total on the free version, but that's fine. You can just exit out and use another one like I just did. I got rid of, and once you star them, you don't have to type it anymore. I got rid of the volume profile. All right. And, oh, I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, how to set up your moving averages. So once you click the moving average, click the gear. What I like to do is actually you got to look at this first. And I think this is in my tweet, like a previous tweet. So EMA means exponential moving average. They move faster. They put more weight, or they consider way more strongly. And I think it's exponentially more recent price action. So if price is going up, the 10 EMA will be above the simple moving average, which is a flat average. It's all fair distribution, right? It's literally the last open, or no, it's the last close of the last 10 candles of whatever time frame you're on, add them up, divide by 10. That's literally what it is. Anyway, so this one's moved faster, but also when price is slowing down, the EMA will cross under these. And that's why it's useful to sometimes use both, not on all of them, but it's useful on the 10, the 20 versus the 21, the 10 versus the 10. That's how I use it most. It's an early on indicator, kind of like stochastics. I use the simple moving averages versus the exponential moving average as an early warning sign. You get false signals, just like stochastics, but that's how you can know to look to one of your more primary indicators to see if the same story is being told. So I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. But anyway, this is how I have it set up. So exponential, I have them slightly different numbers, which look, on this side of the page here, I have a yellow 20 and a blue, 0 and all that, because here it's 55, here it's 21, down in the simples, it's 50 and 10. So 3 aligns with 3, so EMA 3 is 55, MA 3 is 50. So EMA 1, 10, MA 1, 10, EMA 2 is 21, MA 2 is 20. There's a reason I have them different. Maybe I should, no, I like it both. I like these both 10 for some reason. Unless I could do like 10.5. No, you can't do that. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I have this set up. Now, on the next, but you don't have to check them all. You can set this up and only use one because you can uncheck them. So see, I don't use a lot of the simple moving averages down here. I use the big one and the 2 smallest. And I'll show you why here in a second. Here, the color, you just pick a color. All right, if depending on the trader you follow, you might want to set your chart like his or hers. But 95% of people in the space are men, unfortunately. But I I don't know if that's unfortunate. It's just men gravitate towards stuff like that. But anyway, not to get off gender topics. Sorry if that's sensitive to anybody, by the way. I don't mean to be insensitive. Even if I am being insensitive, I don't mean to be. But anyway, so yeah, so I choose red. I mean, you can see what colors I choose. I'm not going to walk you through it. Look, right? Okay, but here's the trick, though. Opacity. So see the color up here where my cursor is? You can't see it like that. So make it bold. All right? I used to, for example, for the 10, I used to make it all the way bold and thin. But recently, I kind of like it like this. I like it like that more. And I don't know why I didn't do it for this one. And I'll show you why I like it like that more. I like it like that. All right, here we go. Something. I don't know where I put it. Okay, anyway. So now I'll show you what I'm doing with this. Okay, so early indicators. The reason why I use moving averages versus the EMAs is this. It's very, very similar to stochastics. So I like to use it on the 1 hour and the 2 hour only, or on the daily, to get big, like a monthly move, right? But here you can get a weekly move with the 2 and 4 hour, and I like using the 2 and the 1 actually. So I typically don't suggest the 1 hour, but if you ever see something on the 1 hour, you need to verify it with the 2 hour doing this. So look how they crossed. So whenever the simple moving average crosses above, the more likelihood price is going to go down, similar to stochastics. When stochastics go down, it's more likely that price is going down, but it's not always. I mean, look here. Stochastics went all the way down, but it made a higher low and price went right up, right? So stochastics aren't used like that. You don't just sell here and buy here. That you will lose all your money if you're leverage trading like that. That's not what that means. The way you use stochastics, if I can get off topic for a second, is you play trend line supports. You just look for trend lines. That's how I use it. And it's better on the daily. Look, see this support line here? Okay, and what I mean by this is this. So we'll look at the stuff below it first. So look, where my cursor is, resistance, it stopped. Resistance, it stopped. Resistance, 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 resistance. It pierced through it, but it came down. Resistance, 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 resistance. It's all almost at the same level. Now let's look above it. Same line, same line. Look, support. It stayed above support there. Acted as support. It swooped below it, but it acted as support. Keep going, keep going. Support, 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 support. So when you have a lot of support, past support becomes future resistance. Look, oh shit. I'm covering that up, aren't I? Darn it. Sorry, guys. All right, I'll do that again. So look at my line. There. Hopefully that came out of the picture. All right, let me do this one more time. Sorry. All right. Stochastics. You can see a best trend line because stuff below it. Resistance, 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 resistance. At the same line, support, 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 support. Then that same line became resistance. Then it became support, sort of support, exact support. Now, Stokes, they are getting right at that same line, and I am shorting. So if the red line goes through it, I know that I should probably get out of my short if it stays above and doesn't curl back down. So if I don't see the blue starting to curl down here soon, I'm going to get out of my short. That's how I use this, all right? But I use the MAs versus the exponential average in the same way. It's the same thing. Maybe I should make them a little lighter here. Did I not press save? Okay, anyway. So very similar on the daily. So the bigger the time frame, the more weight it'll probably hold. So the simple passed above the exponential, that means price will probably go down. And the bigger the time frame, that also means price will likely go down. So let's back test it, okay? So when the yellow line gets more distance from this line, so this is on the daily, right? The bigger the time frame, the more weight it holds. Look, see the red line, see where my cursor is? I can put myself back up here. You can see that the symbol did cross above, but you can tell that candles are closing above it. The 10 simple is a very played line. So here you could tell easily it was a false signal. You can't always tell it that easy. It's like if candle body's closing above it, that means it's not going to work. But anyway, so the yellow line getting distance away. Yellow line, the opaque one getting distance away. Did price drop? Yes. Was it a good early indicator? Yes. Yeah, opaque getting distance away. Did it work? No. Is there a way to tell? Not on this. Let's flip the story to the 4 hour. Uh-oh. Is that right? I think that was, I forget where that was. I think it might have been right here. What was holding it up? The 4 hour 89 EMA. And you couldn't see it on the daily, right? Yeah, that's why you have to flip stories, folks. Why is TradingView messing up my stuff? Oh, because price has skyrocketed. It hasn't filled anything out. It's just been straight up and straight down its whole life. I mean, look, this is the most, look, folks, this is not good. I know you guys might like Cardano, but that's just bad. Like, that's not good. Okay. All right, so it's gaining distance away. Can it be a false signal? Absolutely on the daily. Let's look at the 2 hour. The opaque is above the red. Is the candle currently above it? Yes. So my short, I might have to get out of it, and I probably will if it crosses. So I'm at 26. I shorted about 26.1. Right about the line, 26.3 actually. Yeah, right when price screamed here and it screamed up, closed here, started up, and once it crossed the line again, I shorted with the momentum. I shorted with the momentum, not against it. I didn't try to catch the top, because when you catch tops, it'll keep going, and you get liquidated, and you lose money. Hold on a second. Fuck off! Stop it! All right. I got my dog from Chinese people. Chinese folks. Who are graduate students at the university close to my house. Anyway, so let's see how much this holds up on the 2 hour, and then I'll be done showing you this. Like I said, a lot of false signals the lower time frame you go. Did price go down here? Yes. See the opaque over the red? Yes. Worked there. Opaque over the bold. Was price under it? Yes. Did it work? No. Opaque over bold on the 10 on the so it's 2 hour. I like to use the 2 hour on this. And remember, I use this as a secondary. I don't make active trading based off this. I try to make it agree. I wait until this agrees with the 4 and sort of the daily, but at least the 4 hour. When the 2 hour and 4 hour agree, you have good house odds. You might not be right much more than 50% of the time, but you don't need to, right? Hell, you only need to be right 30% of the time, because the 7 times you're wrong, you stop yourself. Let's say leverage trading, and where you really need to manage your stops, but you don't, like during this bull market, if stuff goes down, you can just hodl it and wait 2 weeks and it's past where it was, right? So, but in leverage trading, you have to do that, and bear markets, even without leverage. But anyway, I can't even remember what I was going to say. But anyway, so did it work here? Yes. And you could kind of tell because candle bodies it started squeezing it. So price started getting squeezed between these two. It didn't stay strong, started closing below, closing below. I would have shorted right here. I definitely shorted too early in this one, which is why, I have a tight stop. But I did it for a reason. I think exchanges pumped it, and I don't think that's people pushing the price on Cardano. I think Coinbase is in on it, and I bet Coinbase folks are getting paid by leveraged exchanges like BitMax and stuff like that, the ones with the 100x. Okay, but anyway, so did it work here? So yeah, price below it, came back up. Okay, did it again, price going below, good time to short. So it works a lot on the 2 hour, I'm telling you. But it also doesn't work a lot. Look, like, yeah, you could have caught this a little bit and then see that it hit this. I mean, that's a nice move if you're using leverage. And so you can't, if 5 times leverage, that's 25% move. That's not bad. Did it work here? No. Price went up. I mean, unless you're only trying to catch a little bit, like if you're going for like 8% moves on leverage, so you wouldn't even caught it there. So no, it didn't work, but it doesn't work always. So the bigger the time frame, you want to see what it looks like on the week? I think it works 100% of the time on the week in Bitcoin. Watch. Granddaddy time frame. Especially the 20s. So you have to focus on the yellows. The yellows have worked 100% of the time. And maybe the reds, actually. Nope, because the red crossed there. Okay. Yeah, but the yellows have worked, I think, every time. So look, not just cross, but it gains steam above. That's a bear market. You know this ain't going back up. If you see that distance come away on the weekly time scale, get out. Look, gain distance away. Had that happened any other time? Look, no. Dark, the bold yellow above it. There's only one time it didn't. Here, but it didn't gain steam away, and the weekly candles were closing above it, so you knew it was likely a false signal. And we were just, like, Bitcoin was just coming out of the bear market, so stuff was moving funky, right? But yeah, if it gains distance away like this, and candles are under it. Candles under it. Right here. So once this came up, so you saw separation, you saw this candle start here and come down, you want to get like out of everything right there. Like with the momentum going down. All right. And can you do the reverse? Do you think you can do the reverse on the weekly? Tell when you're calling out of a bear market? Yes. Same damn thing. That's why I keep telling y'all the weekly is the king daddy. Look, crossed above. Where are we at? The bottom. Did you get the exact bottom? No. But is price going to come down and crash on your freaking face with red dildos slapping you in the face? No. Do you think it worked the previous cycle? Probably. Let's go look. I don't even know. Yeah, you actually got a great signal because you had another chance to buy the bottom. This was a good one. So, but again, if they're right next to each other and across, like that doesn't count, especially when candle bodies are obviously staying away from it. So I would have known the bear market's over about right there. Or maybe here. I would have said this is enough distance for me. This is big enough of a gap for me. You know you're done with the bear market. That's simple. Trading is simple. You just have to follow the rules. Like your emotions, yourself. So self-discipline is the hardest part, and it's managing your own emotions. That's the only difficult thing about trading, folks. Maybe if you're red-green colorblind, that would be pretty hard. But other than that, the hardest thing about trading is managing your own damn emotions and following the simple things you know work, and not getting caught up in adrenaline, oxytocin, getting on a roll, right? And then breaking your rules because you're smarter than the market, or your cortisol response when you made a bad move. That's a good time just to get out of your trade, walk away, hang it up for the day. Don't try to make up for it. Just go away. There's always another trade another day, especially if you cut into your account pretty hard one day, you walk away. Like, doing that is so hard because you're frustrated. I'm going to get this back. And then how do you get it back? If your rules don't say do this, you're getting no signs from your rules and you're frustrated. What are you going to do? You're going to make up your own damn rules. That's how you lose your money. Trading is easy. I just showed you. It's freaking simple. The hard part is you. Promise. Want to see why I shorted Cardano? Look. Where is current price? Near all-time highs. Did we bust through and stay above all-time highs? No. Do you think it's a coincidence that the announcement came right around the time where we might be retesting and trying to bust out? No. Do you think it's a coincidence that 100% of price action in that pump to get Cardano price from, I think it was like a 26%. Look, a 20% pump. Do you think it's a coincidence that 100% of it came in the same hour? No. Do normal people pressing buy do that? No. No. This is set up, folks. Is it a coincidence that this candle happened near the end of the day? So you ended the day with a big green fat candle, and so that a bunch of traders put in longs because it's gonna moon, because everybody on YouTube loves Cardano and is talking about Coinbase coming out with Cardano? Do you think it's weird that it happened right at the end of the day? No. It's all planned. All of it. I'm not a freaking conspiracy theorist. That's what exchange is there to take your money. Want me to show it to you on Bitcoin? Happens all the freaking time. But if you learn the rules, you can make money off of it, like which is what I'm trying to do. Right? If you know what to look for, make money off of it. They pay you. They don't take your money. You take their money. Actually, you're taking the money from the people's money they took. They are still taking people's money. They have to share it with you, essentially. All right, this is back to Bitcoin. Where can you? I think the 4-hour time frame, you can see a lot of stupid shit going on. Oh no, you can see it better on Cardano. Yeah, okay, actually, yes, you can. And it's happening all because it's now on leverage. Watch. People trying to short. Short about here. They put their stops here because, okay, good. Yeah, they might be using the same thing I see. Oh, see, it's crossing. And this is the 4-hour. It's more powerful. Okay, I'm going to short right here. Closing candles. My stop loss I'll set right above, so I only lose like, 2% of my account. If you're trading with $100, I lose $2 if price comes back up. Okay, makes you think you're a genius, screams right back up, stops you out, goes down even farther. All in the matter of a few hours. So they can't make money. Do you think that this point to this point is not a psychological number and this point to this point is? I actually don't know. Let's see. 25 kind of is a psychological number. Maybe it's from a different point. But anyway, you know, this isn't people doing this. I guess it might be easier to see on Bitcoin. Look, see this? Straight down, so people didn't have a chance to really short. Straight down. Let's look at other drops. Easier because people are playing like smaller time frames here. I'm using the wrong time frames. You can't see it on the bigger time frames as much. So you can't see it on the bigger time frames as much, which is why I keep saying don't use. So here, let me show you why you don't use this. Watch. So you get a signal to short. It's closing below. You short. Boom. Stops you out, then goes down. 1 hour time frame. Could we see that on the 4 hour? No. You made the wrong call. Watch. You get a signal to short. Closing below. Yes. Boom. Stops you out. Then it comes down however many percent for a small short. Like you should be shorting here anyway, but just for example. Like it's doing trickery to take people's money. It's even more obvious, but I can't go far back. I wish I could go to the 1 hour. Okay, or it just slams down so people don't have the opportunity to get their signals, right? One way to show you a natural what the hell did I just press? I just got rid of my moving averages. Oh, they're down here. That was weird. All right. Natural price movement. Oscillators. That's humans. A lot of oscillation. Oscillation. That's human. But you can see a lot of BART or straight up, straight like this, straight up, straight down stuff. And that is exchanges taking people's money. So I'm coming up short finding examples. I should have been ready for that. But I showed you the one example on Cardano. So anyway, yeah, that's how I use my stuff. Hopefully that was helpful. Even if I'm wrong on Cardano and Bitcoin going down, you know, you can't be right all the time. That's why you stop losses. So even if you're wrong, you're not wrong much. But, you only have to be right 3 out of 10. That's what my thought was. The reason why you only have to be right 30% of the time is the 7 times you're wrong, you limit your losses. You manage them. Okay? The word manage losses. They use a different M word on the 3. You milk them. You let them ride. So the amount those 3 ride dwarf your losses of the 7 which are managed. Managed versus milk. In trading, you don't have to be right even half the time. So, you know, even if I'm wrong about Bitcoin and Bitcoin, you know, does make new all-time highs from here, doesn't matter. I only need to be right 30% of the time, you know, for my calls to make a lot of money. Because you milk versus manage, right? So anyway, I'm out. See you guys later. You just got Timified, Cryptilians and Crypto Crackheads. We'll see you next time.